What is up, guys? This is Kyle from Kyle's Game Room, and I started running out of figures to review, and I checked out one of my fans, Burst Angel 01. Yeah, check him out. I'll provide a link in the description. He did 2 review of Sonic figures. One of them was the Sonic and Blaze comic pack, and the other one was about the Babylon Rogues, and that kind of encouraged me to do a review of all 6 of these figures. Alright, when the 15th anniversary of Sonic came out, they made a game called Sonic Riders. And Sonic Riders, it was very hit and miss to some fans. I absolutely loved the game. Excellent racer, once you actually do learn how to play the game, because the game does have a big learning curve. But once you actually get it down, it's awesome. Then it came out with 2 other games. Sonic Rider Zero Gravity, I was really excited for, but I wasn't really too fond of it, to be honest. Then Sonic Free Riders came out. Unfortunately, I don't have that game, but my friend has it, and I got to play it one summer, and it wasn't that bad. It's something that I would play at a friend's house, which luckily I'm in that situation, and then just never pick it up for myself, because I don't have an Xbox. Alright, so yeah, this is it. This is the complete collection. When I was younger, sorry, I bumped the camera. But yeah, when I was younger, it really bothered me that they never came out with figures based on Sonic Riders. Because we knew that Sonic had a new look, and Sonic had frickin' airboards and stuff. So I would, take my Sonic figures and make paper airboards, just tape it to the bottom of their shoes, and just fly along with them, and it was really, really fun. So, now that we finally got these figures, it's so awesome that we did. So yeah, I'm going to be going over all the figures. So, yeah, let's start going over them. I'm first going to review Sonic and Jet, because when we first got the figures, those were the only figures that we got. And this was actually around when the game came out. And again, I bumped the camera, and I apologize. Yeah, and anyway, yeah, it was around when the game came out. So, yeah, it was half decent, I guess. Let me zoom in a little bit. There we go. Awesome. Alright, so anyway, yeah. I bought multiple versions of these figures because mainly Sonic broke, and so did Jet. And Sonic is about to break once again. It's mainly the neck that's breaking. Because the way that they sculpted the neck, they make it so he's always looking up. Literally. You can see his neck joint. But when you try to adjust his head, it actually tries to break the neck joint. So when you get that, do not bend his neck. Just leave his head alone. And I even tried to remember that, and I forgot all about it, so I messed up his neck. Alright, so yeah, anyway, yeah, these were the first 2 original figures, and I was just happy with these guys. But then later they released the other figures, and I'm like, oh my god, this is awesome. Each of these figures, they are the actual, legit action figures. You can take them off their boards, which is a really, really cool bonus, because if I were to get figures like these, I would buy 2 of them just so I can take them off their board and cut them off and stuff. So the fact that they actually made this an option straight from the get-go is absolutely awesome. So go Jazzwares. Go you. And if you notice, here the pegs on this one are green. When I got my first one, the pegs on the on Jet's board was actually white. So that's a fun fact for you. And this board actually came apart super easily too, so I had to super glue this. So I think this may be the first one, and this is the second run. Because here the plastic on this Jet felt different compared to the other one. So again, fun fact for you. The details on the boards, they're not that bad. Well, I guess I'm going to call them extreme gear, because that's what they're actually called. You get the details on the sides, and they actually can come apart. You just got to, pretty much just pull it off. It probably wouldn't break the figure, because mine were falling apart from day one. So it didn't really matter. You can take the wheels out if you don't want to use them. The way that they rotate, they're not really too reliable. You can't pretty much use it as a Hot Wheels or anything. You can't make it go down a ramp. You can try, but I'm not sure how much success you'll get. But unfortunately, I don't even have any Hot Wheels tracks anymore, so I couldn't even test that for myself. But, the detail, it seems somewhat accurate to the game. I didn't get to really, really hardcore check out the details on the boards when I was playing the game. And this is just a sticker. It's same for all the other boards. So yeah, the top are just stickers. The sides seem to be pretty accurate. It's just that the fact that these are wheels, like the wheels are here, it's like really weird. And they could have made these wheels brown, not brown, gray. I don't know my colors. I'm colorblind. But anyway, yeah, they could have made these gray, like these wheels, so they could blend in with these. So it could look like it's actually supposed to be part of the tank. But they failed to do that, so whatever. So if you want, you can do that yourself. While this, it actually kind of matches. So, again, you can do that yourself if you want. I don't care what you do. So, move these to the side. Now let's go over the actual figures. Okay, as I was saying, that the neck joint on my figure is actually messed up. But it's a standard swivel, 360 degrees, universal shoulders, standard elbow movement, wrist swivel, torso swivel, but again, I don't really mess with it because it cuts his torso and looks awkward. Universal legs, knees, and ankle swivel. Alright, when you get these figures, here, they're like his sunglasses and his goggles, they are not on directly. You actually have to put these guys on. When I got my first Sonic figure, like, they had a really, really tough time trying to stick onto his head, so I pretty much had to super glue them on. Well, with this figure, they actually stayed on extremely tight and extremely well. So yeah, like, it's a very, very good sculpt. There was one thing that, like, there's actually two things I did not like about this figure. One of them just being a small grape, but another one, I guess it's somewhat a deal. Okay, like here, like, on the tongues of the shoes, on the other Sonic games, they show him with a yellow triangle pointing downward. Hold on, now let me pull out a Sonic Riders case. Hopefully they do demonstrate that one. Yeah, here we go. See? Right there. I'm not sure if they did get rid of that in Sonic Riders or not, so if any of you guys know, let me know in the comments. I would really appreciate it. But I'm pretty sure they didn't get rid of it. But if they did, then, oh well. Whatever. And on the bottom of the shoes, there's no detail either. I like the details on the shoes, though. They look pretty good, especially these little green parts in the front of the shoes. But they could have added some detail on the bottom, so I guess they got the SBO and Vector treatment. Whatever. So that's pretty much Sonic. He's a cool looking figure. I actually like this sculpt because I love these shoes. They're skater shoes, and I wear skater shoes. So it can relate to me a little bit more. And even though Sonic has sunglasses, he never wears them in the game. Like, he never, like, puts them down. Like how Jet actually puts his goggles down when he's racing. Now let's go over Jet. He does have the head swivel. However, it's hindered because the way how these two things in the back, they're right behind his shoulders, and it's not like they're really made out of soft plastic, so they couldn't really make it so you couldn't move. You technically can move it, but it will mess with the neck joint very badly, so I don't recommend that you do that. I recommend that you move the torso, because here, the way that they have it sculpted, it will not hinder his, like, it won't, like, look awkward on him whatsoever. So that's kind of good. So he's pretty much has the same articulation as Sonic. Universal shoulders, standard elbow, wrist swivel, knee, universal legs, and ankle. But his ankle runs extremely high. So again, with that figure, great sculpt, looks really good, no details on the bottom of the shoes, and I know he's supposed to have a great amount of detail, especially starting from the back of the shoe. So yeah, like, soles, they could use a lot of work. I wish they would have implemented some detail on that, even though they have two giant pegs coming, like, into them, like little peg holes. It would have been nice to have that there as well. Like, have the details on there. But if they couldn't do it, then they couldn't do it. I like how they actually, like, make it kind of look like reminiscent to the game, where they actually show how the gloves actually are, like, sewn together, like, legitly. They even do the same thing with Sonic. So I love that attention to detail. That is absolutely awesome. Like, I like how these ones, like, they don't have that issue where they don't have a proper knee, because as you can tell, he does have a knee. So if he reaches a limit, that's his limit. So yeah, like, these are actually really well sculpted figures. I'm not sure if you can get them from Toys R Us anymore, but if you can, I recommend that you do get them, especially in the newer ones, because the plastic they use is a lot better quality compared to the first run of the figures. But But you do want to see these in stores because I think the latest ones, I know Wake Angel 2001, he saw some of these figures, and the way that they painted them is extremely odd. So look for a good paint job. Like, do your research, make sure you know what the characters' paints actually look like, and then look at the figure, and if it doesn't look right, do not buy the figure. He only bought them just so he can customize them anyway, for commissions and stuff. Alright, so that's pretty much our review of the Sonic and Jet figures. They're worth being in your collection. It's awesome. They're great figures. However, they are a little bit hard to come by now, so you might pay like a couple extra dollars, like probably like an extra like $2 to $5. You shouldn't be seeing too much money on these guys. So let me put these guys back on their boards, and I will move on to the rest of the figures. First up, I'm gonna talk about Tails and Knuckles. Okay, because I like reviewing 2 figures at a time. Actually, no, I'll just do one figure at a time for a while. Okay, but the rest of these figures that I'm going to be reviewing, these were pretty much, let's call it Series 2 of the Sonic Freeriders figures. Because here, unlike Sonic and Jet, they released the rest of the main characters in this series. I'm not including, like, Amy or Shadow, any people like that. I mean, like, legit good racers, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, the people who actually played a giant part in the story, which is Tails, Knuckles, Wave, and crap, what's his last name? Storm. That's it. There we go. So anyway, yeah, with these figures, they introduced the extra points of articulation, where they have the bicep swivel like that, and the knee swivels. And all these figures have these points of articulation, except for Storm. And I'm not sure if Wave does either. We'll see. Okay, so we got the standard head swivel, so that's good. Elbow, wrist, torso, which I don't really like to mess with too much. Again, same with both sides. Universal legs, and knee articulation. Alright, and ankles. And tail articulation. Alright, so before we go over the figure itself, let's go over the board. The board, very good amount of detail. Again, just like the other ones, there were stickers on here and white pegs, so good. And I like the paint job around the rest of the board. It's really good. I like it. So yeah. Again, I wish I could paint these gray, because like the wheels gray, because then it would look more natural when they're around the hover points and the fuel tank, or the exhaust, or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, yeah, it's a good board. Could change the color of the wheels, but whatever, fine. Okay, now let's go over Tails. Alright, the color they used for Tails is it's probably the best paint job of Tails. So why they don't use they use this shade of yellow for the other Tails figures, I have no freaking idea. They need to start doing that. So Jazzwares, if you're for some reason watching this video, pay attention. Use this shade of yellow. This is accurate. The tone that you're currently using right now for Tails. Hold on, let me pull them down. This shade. This is not right. Like, on camera it doesn't seem too much of a difference, but when you actually see it in real life, he's more of an orange in this one, while he's supposed to be yellow. Okay? Like, if you see them side by side, you could probably actually see a half-decent difference. But yeah, the one that you see on the Rider's Tails is the actual color of Tails. They actually did fix that once for the Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing just Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing figures. And I think there was multiple runs of that, because when I ordered one, it was the same colored Tails that I just showed you earlier. It's just that it had the holding things hands. That's it. Because they gave them the better paint job and re-sculpted Tails, so it would fit into playing better. Anyway, yeah, personally, I'm not really too fond of these double setups, like how like separate knee and stuff like that, because here when I go to play with the figures, it's harder to bend these. Like if I want to make Tails run, blah 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 blah, here, like the leg itself doesn't really want to move, so when I'm pressing against the bottom part of the leg, and that's going to make it bend and eventually break the figure. So some figures I am actually happy that they're not doing these kind of articulations. So yeah, personally, I like the older articulation better. Like, it's nice they're giving us extra points, but they don't need to do that. I'm happy with shoulder, the standard elbow, and then I could just move the arm over. Kinda. I don't know. With the arms, it helps, but the legs, it's not really that necessary. It's nice how we could do these kind of poses for some reason, but again, it's not really needed. So overall, it is a good Tails figure. And the goggles, they are actually like sculpted on, like they're like you probably can actually take them off if you try hard enough, but like they're actually packaged on, unlike Tails, not Tails, unlike Sonic and Jet, where you actually have to put their goggles on and stuff. So yeah, these are actually put on for you, so that's awesome. I don't even know how you're supposed to get them on past the ears. But anyway, yeah, it's a good figure. I love the paint job on this. But other than that, it's a good figure. Again, they pay attention to the glove details, blah, blah, blah. No details on the bottom of the shoes. We get a different paint, so that's good, but still, I don't know. Could have done better, but whatever. I don't really like how the peg holes are on this Tails, because sometimes he'll fall off his board. But recently I haven't been running into those troubles, but when I first started playing with it, I ran into that issue a lot. So, yeah. There you go. Now let's go over Knuckles. Knuckles seems to be the most expensive out of this whole set. Luckily, I didn't pay that much for him. But when I was trying to find him, he was still very tough to find. I found him for probably $16 or $17 off some website. I can't remember what site it was, so if you're wondering, I do not know. I can't remember. But finding this figure is really hard. Like, I don't know why he's that expensive. I don't know if he's really that rare, or if he's actually that popular, or I don't really know what the deal is. But yeah, it's kind of expensive. So luckily I got mine for cheap. And luckily I did not break this figure. And I'm really happy I did not. Alright, so let's go over Knuckles. Let's go over his board. Again, good amount of detail. Stickered on. Man, there's a lot of dust on these figures. Again, gonna paint at the wheels. But still, everything is a great paint job. Yeah, there we go. Alright, as you can tell, he doesn't have really much details on the bottom of the shoes. The goggles are actually put on for you. They go in between the neck joint. Like, they go on the neck joint in between the torso and the head. So that's good. Again, head articulation, however, it's extremely hindered because of his dreadlocks. And they're not really much of a soft plastic. So you can't really make his arms go past it very much. Unless you want to move his arm, bend his other arm, actually force the dreadlock over, and then you can turn his head a little bit. See, there you go. I'm not sure if I actually got that on camera. But anyway, yeah. It's something I wish they could fix on this figure, so, yeah. So there. He has head articulation. It's very, very limited. Can't talk. Very limited. Universal shoulders, double setup with the elbows, just like the rest of the Riders figures. Wrist articulation, torso articulation, but I don't really mess with it too much. But it is a better option compared to trying to actually move his head. Universal legs, double knee setup, and ankle swivel. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Again, great amount of detail when it comes to the gloves. Again, I love how they paid attention to that. That was really excellent of them. But compared to the other Knuckles figures, it's kind of small. His eyes look kind of weird. At least on mine. I'm not sure about the other ones, but I can tolerate it. It's a good figure. His feet are extremely small compared to the other figures. The stomach mark, the chest mark, looks kind of a little bit smaller compared to the other ones. But again, I can mind it. It's still a great figure nevertheless. Let me get down one of my other Knuckles figures. Hold it. Because I'm probably knocking over some other figures. Oh, no, luckily I didn't, but still, it could have. Okay, look at this other Knuckles figure. The head on this figure, which is supposed to be a normal Knuckles, seems to be a little bit bigger than this Knuckles. The eye paint job is better on the normal Knuckles. And the torso, the chest piece, it's bigger on this one. And this is actually my second Knuckles figure. The first one I got was through the Clear Blue Sonic and Knuckles comic pack. And the feet are actually significantly, a lot bigger on this figure. And the hands, just a tiny bit bigger on the other figure, on the normal figure. But still, overall, this is a good Knuckles figure. But if you do want to get one, be ready to pay a pretty penny, because he is not cheap. I mean, sweet, sweet Lord. When you see the prices on him, you're going to be quite surprised. But when you do find one cheap, if you find one for less than $20, by all means, pick him up. And if they have two, buy two. So you can open one, have it look nice on your shelf, and another one just so you can keep it boxed, because then he's going to be worth a lot more. Because I know he's expensive. Should I have opened him? Probably not. Probably should have ordered a second one. But whatever. I'm happy that I bought this figure. It's a very, very good figure. Love it. But again, if you didn't pick one up, I feel sorry for you, because unless you have a lot of money, you're probably not going to be able to get this guy. Okay, now let's go on to the rest of the Babylon Rogues. Alright, we're going to do Wave first, because Wave is, a pretty cool character. Okay, let's take her off her board. Again, a lot of dust. I mean, sweet, sweet Lord. Just like the rest of the boards, great amount of detail. Sticker, white pegs, and the wheels actually match her, her exhaust and her hover points, so that's good. But yeah, overall, good board. That's pretty much how I feel about all the boards. They actually have a decent amount of detail, nothing like Figma or not Figma, like Good Smile Company quality, but still pretty good. Now let's go over Wave. Okay, just like the rest of the Anywhere figures, head swivel, torso swivel, universal shoulders, double elbow setup. See, wrist swivels, universal legs, double setup with the knee, and I do believe she does have a ankle swivel. However, it's very limited because of the way that they sculpted her pants. Okay, so I also should have mentioned with the Tails and Knuckles how they actually hide her bolt points or whatever, like how you normally see on other Sonic figures. So when you see a double setup like that, that means that these are hidden. Or if these are hidden, then there's a good chance that this is a double setup. And again, great amount of detail because of the gloves. Very, very nice. I like how they give her a muffin top. I didn't notice it until Wake Angel 2001 actually pointed it out. Because here she's supposed to be a gearhead. She's not supposed to be a sexy person like Rouge the Bat or something. So I like how they actually gave her a muffin top. For all we know, they actually probably did give her a muffin top because of the way that she's supposed to be. But yeah, the detail on her is actually half decent. You get her little necklace. I don't really know why she has that necklace, but I don't know. I don't know what the purpose is. The details on the pants, pretty good. I like how they actually painted something on her back, so this is not supposed to be her naked chest. So, yay, go censorship. I like how this is supposed to be a bandana. The details on the shades were pretty cool. Apparently, these arms on the shades are supposed to be up more. So, if you want, you can cut them off and actually fix them. I know Wake Angel 2001 did, but I didn't. So I didn't feel like doing that. Because I don't really mind. She does have the head articulation, however, it's kind of limited because of the way that they put it behind her shoulders. Again, it's not Jazzwares' fault. They only do so much, The details on the shoes, they could have been a little bit better. They look like the GameCube graphics, and these are based off the Xbox 360 game, like the the Free Riders games. A half decent amount of detail on the shoes, not as like it's better than the other ones. I can tell you that much, but still, they could have been a little bit better. Overall, this is a half decent figure. You will find ones that do have horrible, horrible paint jobs, so be on the lookout. Make sure you know what you're finding. They're mainly like the newer figures where quality control never existed, I guess. But yeah, it's still a good figure. So if you can find one in a good paint job, by all means, pick it up. Alright, now let's go over Storm, the last character of the Sonic Free Riders figures. And from what I've seen, probably one of the most common as well. Behold, Storm, the fattest character of the bunch. Okay, let's look at the board. Looks good. I love it. It's big and fat for him, so that's good. I could have painted the wheels, but whatever. White pegs, you know, it matches everything else except for jets for some reason. But whatever. Again, dusty because man, I need to really I need to play with these figures. I love them. Took them out of the box. I should play with them. But yeah, great detail on the board. Alright, now let's move on to the figure itself. Okay? Unlike the rest of the Babylon Rogues, he can actually move his head in a full 360. And it's actually quite tight too. Until I did that. Until I actually did the full 360. Now it's a little bit loose. But, I don't mind. Universal shoulders. A double set up with the elbow. A wrist swivel. There we go. But when you try to move this, the wrist swivel by itself, you'll end up moving the actual piece up here. So I don't know what you want to do about that. We get the torso swivel, and they put it in a good place so it would not look too awkward on him. So that is extremely well. Universal legs. He doesn't really have knee articulation because if they did, it would probably end up making the figure break real easily. So I guess I like that, but again, it sucks not having any knee articulation. And then we have ankle articulation, and that's pretty much it. Okay, on the bottom of the shoes, they actually, this is probably like the figure with the most detail on the bottom of the shoes. Again, it could have been more, they could have done a lot better, but whatever, fine Jazzwares, I'll take it. Again, like at my local Toys R Us, he is the most common figure. Like I remember I went there and I was looking for more Sonic figures, and there were Sonic Riders figures there, and these were the only ones that you could find. So, yeah. So this might be the most common one out of the whole bunch. This is something that you can actually just go to your store and find. But nowadays, I'm not sure. I haven't been to Toys R Us in I don't know how many months, and I've been looking for newer Sonic figures, and I don't know. I haven't seen any last time I was there, but I think that the Team Chaotix pack is there, but they didn't have the Blaze the Cat one from when I called. So I just ordered both of those sets online. These figures, however, you don't really want to order online because then you'll end up finding ones with bad paint jobs. And you do want to order them straight from Toys R Us if you can, because then you save a little bit of money. You get them for actual retail price, not freaking second or third hand resellers, I guess. I don't know how to pronounce them. Anyway, yeah, it's still a good figure. It's kind of weird looking because, you know, it's Storm. He's always weird looking. Look at his jumbo hands. But yeah, he has ginormous hands. But still, the fact that he can touch his toes, absolutely no problem. That's awesome. Can't do the head, shoulder, knees, and toes. He can only do the toes. Anyway, yeah. If you're going to try to get the rest of the set, by all means, get them. I'm not sure if there are ones that do have bad paint jobs. There might be, but again, you have to look them up. Again, just like the rest, just like the second line of the figures, like Tails, Knuckles, Wave, and now Storm. Everything is just put onto them. These are actually sculpted on. They're not like actually like put on like the Tails and Knuckles figures. So yeah. But anyway, yeah, great figures. Pick them up. Try and get them from Toys R Us if you can, but if you can't, then try to find a very, very cheap price. Out of all the whole set, Knuckles is the most expensive out of the bunch. So if you want to try to get the complete set, you're gonna spend a pretty penny. Any pros and cons? Mainly the main cons that I got are they should have put details on the bottom of the shoes. And when they put the wheels on, I like it if they match the hover parts of the boards, so it looks like it actually blends in. But with white wheels, it looks kind of awkward. Sometimes I wish that the wheels would rotate a lot better. Like I want, like probably around like a Hot Wheels quality, I guess. But I don't mind it. I usually just put them on my shelves, and even if I do play with them, I don't use the wheels. I actually make them go above the ground because they're hoverboards. I'll make them go like woo, woo, woo. And if you have tech deck sets, then you're gonna have fun with this. Because I sure did. My neighbors had tech deck sets, and I just brought these figures up, and I'm like, wee, look at Sonic skateboard, wee. So this is actually probably the longest review I've probably ever done, because I was reviewing multiple figures. So are these figures worth picking up? If you do have the money and you are a giant Sonic Riders fan, then by all means pick these figures up. Any pros? I love how they pay attention to the glove details. That's awesome. And the details on the boards, they're actually pretty decent as well. But yeah, great figures. I'm finally happy we finally got some Riders figures, and I'm happy that I got the whole set. Are we going to get any more? I extremely doubt it. Because if we were, we would probably have some more by now. Like, we probably would have seen, like Shadow or whatever with his skate shoes, hopefully. Actually, no, he probably wouldn't have the shoes. I don't think they have that in Free Riders, because these are based off the Free Riders sets, not any of the other Riders games, which kind of sucks. But whatever, I can deal with it. As long as I got Riders figures, I'm really, really happy. So yeah, if you have the spare cash and you really love Sonic that much, pick them up. If you're trying to go like me and just get every single figure, well, not every figure, but like every character at least, then yeah, pick them up. Just need them. But again, Knuckles is probably the most rare figure out of the set. But yeah, I'm happy I got him. Alright, so if you like what you saw, be sure to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And I'm trying to figure out how much these figures would be. At least, third party, I guess, like aftermarket, that's what I should call it. Yeah, aftermarket sellers. You probably are going to spend around $100. It's mainly because of Knuckles. Knuckles is the most rarest figure. Heck, you will spend probably even more than $100 because of Knuckles. But because of but it's just the rest of the figures. Let's see. You'll probably spend around 60 to 80, I want to guess. But with Knuckles. Knuckles is the most expensive one. I don't know how much he goes for, but you have to be like me and do a lot of heavy investigation. Look on as many sets as you can when you do find them for dirt cheap. If you find them for less than $20, buy two. Alright, so I'm rambling. Pick them up. They're all awesome. Great for your shelf. And great for your Sonic shrine if you want to make one. Alright guys, I will see you guys next video.